Hello everyone, welcome to Pack Rat's Shack. Thanks for joining me today. Here we are, about ready to get started on my next huge project. This is a family heirloom. Amy and Andy are trusting me to set this set, 6 armchairs and dining room set, back to right. It's been in their family for a long time. Andy grew up eating around this table, and then it got stuck in storage, and I'm told even raccoons had their heyday with it, and there's like debris and finish blistering and everything like that. And again, did I say family heirloom? Up to me to put back right? No pressure. None at all. I don't feel any pressure at all, right? Right? Tell me it's gonna be okay. Anyways, let's get a better look at this. This is how it came to me in pieces. There's things that need to be looked at and made sure they're working properly, and some improvements made to them, and obviously lots of cleaning, some surface repairs. Oh my gosh, did I bite off more than I can chew with this? I've never done a complete refinish like this before. We're not going to try to make these perfect. It does have history, and the history does not need to be removed, so to speak. So I guess it's just left for you guys to judge how well I do this. Hi, my name is Packy, creator of Pack Rat's Shack. I upcycle furniture, build out of pallet wood, finish interior spaces, and have a vendor booth for my creations. Welcome to my world. So this is a nasty dirty bucket after one chair and just the little pieces like the 2 leaves and the center support. I cleaned the bucket after I was done with the whole tabletop. It was a clean bucket of water. Now it's nasty. I guess there is a difference between the dirty ones and the clean one. Here's the table, the legs, the leaves, all of the chairs after what I consider just a first overall cleaning that basically just got the worst of the stuff off. But that's after 5 hours of cleaning, 7 buckets of fresh water, and about half a gallon of Simple Green. And you can see how bad they still look. But this is all stuff that is just like stuck on. This is very, very rough from where the varnish or whatever that was on it has blistered and raised. And it's so rough that it was like tearing apart my Brillo pad while I was scrubbing it, trying to scrub it clean. I'm going to say this is the first time I've ever scraped furniture to get the finish off, and I've ordered a whole nother set of scrapers so that I can get into all of the areas. But right now I just really want to try to get this worst stuff off of all the flat surfaces that I can use this. And even though this is looking the way it's looking, I'm thinking the finish is so damaged that this is going to be the best way, but I'm just gonna have to like kind of learn through it. So the funny thing here is, I think going into this that night, I was thinking I was going to actually get some of the flat surfaces done on the majority of the chairs. That's what the ridiculous part is for this. It was quickly learned that I'm in way over my head. I definitely think I got in way over my head with this. This is going to be a labor of love. These chairs deserve to look better than they have in a long time. So I know this is long and tedious, and I should just wait for those other tools, but it's so, I wouldn't say exciting, but gratifying, just seeing this amount get done and this amount get done, that it's driving me to keep going on at this tedious pace just to see if I can get them to look just a little bit better in their raw form. So some of my scraping tools came in. It's just the next day. After I stopped recording last night, I continued to play with sanding, and you can see on the flat surfaces of the table leg, but the flat surfaces of the chair, the DeWalt sander worked better than the Dremel tool sander. And I had tried the Dremel tool because I thought maybe it'd be easier to keep flat, and I didn't want to accidentally rock and curve areas that didn't have a curve to them already. But anyway, just one day, go to work, come home, and I have my set of tools. So I'm really excited to try them to see how that will work for getting into all the different contours and grooves and corners and all of that kind of stuff. So I need to learn how to, of course, use all of this stuff, but also just hoping that use file is shown to sharpen blades. I'm hoping they come kind of sharpened to begin with. So which one do I want to use first? So many options, so many options. Well, I'm gonna keep on going like this all the way around this area and the seat, and then I'll come back and I'll switch a blade out and see which one's good for the spindles. So for a recap, this is the third day I've been getting going on stripping this whole set after a 5-hour day of cleaning everything. Well, I actually split into 2 different days for cleaning everything. These first 2, that's the attempt with sanding. That took a long time just to get that far, which I didn't even touch any of the spindles yet. This chair back here is last night about 4 hours using these scraping tools, but I didn't get around to the top spindles, but I got to most of the bottom spindles. I was having difficulty with these smaller areas, just getting the right angle kind of around. Anyway, it's probably just something that I need to get the hand or the feel for to get around those spindles better. But that was about 4 hours, and it got further than the sanding. So tonight I'm gonna try a third option, and mainly because of the spindle area, wanting to see if citrus strip is the way to go with the spindles. I've had good luck with this on other projects, and I don't think it has a bad odor or anything. It's not very strong. I think it'll be safe enough to use here. Now we're just going to cover it with some plastic. So here I'm wondering, watching back, maybe I should have left the stripper on longer and came back and checked it. But really that wouldn't have worked because I spent hours trying to get all that stripper back off. And if it just needed to set a couple more hours or a little more time, I was there during that time and it wasn't getting any easier. This is the chair that I worked so long on stripping the finish off that day. It was about 5 hours in total. By the time I got back to it and was peeling the plastic off and discovering that it had just turned into a sticky, gummy, glue down mess that you couldn't move off of there very well. And I was getting very, very frustrated. I acknowledge that because I had used it before and it worked well. So it leaves me to believe that we all know you never know what was used on a chair or any piece of furniture. You don't know what clear coat of protection was used, whether it was a varnish, whether it was a polyurethane, a lacquer. You just don't know. So obviously whatever was on the other experience I had worked well with the citrus stripper, and this not so well. You know the 3 different techniques that I'm trying, and by looking at how this turned out, I think that I would prefer sticking with the sanding and scraping. Still really not sure about how to work all these spindles and get all that down. Maybe I'll get better and better with the scrapers, but anyways, I just need to keep working on it, and that's all I'll be doing for a long time. Watching this back, it really doesn't look like it was all that hard, does it? I mean, fast pace, you can actually see stuff getting done and it moving along swiftly. Funny, it wasn't so swift when they're in normal life time. So I started the sander on the extending leaf, and it really didn't seem all that bad. It was moving along quite slowly, but moving along, and you could see changes happening. But once I got on the actual table itself, it just seemed like it took forever, and I was just thinking there's gotta be a better way. You could tell there's loads and loads of layers of whatever clear coat was used. So I started thinking about maybe this is where I need to use a different kind of stripper to see if it'll work. So I do decide to use a stripper. It was just taking way too long. And I'm prepping to put this safest stripper down, which it says you have to do a rough sanding first. So even though the directions say it would be ready in 2 hours, I checked it at 2 hours and
nothing was moving, and you could tell that it didn't look like any of the top coat had been eaten away. So I left it for longer and kept checking. I kept reapplying so that it wouldn't dry out and it could keep working. And finally, several hours later, I go ahead and proceed with trying to get it back off and hopefully scrape some of the layers of clear coat off, because at this point it's already getting late and I don't think I want to leave it overnight, because I'm not sure what it would do to stay on that long. So against all odds, all I can do is try to take this off, and it's not coming off. The top goop is coming off, but the underneath sticky stuff that won't move is not coming off. At this point, I know I'm in a tough jam. I know it's going to be a long night, and all I can do is keep trying to get it off. And I'm wishing I had a better stripper on hand, maybe something like what Trina uses with John's Furniture. It looks like it's, you know, real stuff that'll take finishes off, not this crap that doesn't work. But this chemical's already down, so what do? I know some people are probably thinking, go ahead, put another layer on. Well, the problem is all this edge that was already done and sanded back, you can see some of the blackening, and I was worried that if I kept putting more and more stripper down, that the blackening mark, where it would bleed over from where the finish was to where the raw wood was. I noticed black marks happening along that line, and I was worried that that would become worse and worse. So I didn't feel like it was good to keep putting more stuff down because of that issue. So I just decided to go ahead and just muster through it and persevere and scrape it all off one layer by one layer, which I think there might have been like 12 layers of whatever clear coat on this for how long it took me and how many scrapings it took me to get down to actual wood.
One eternity later.
Yep, I'm still in the basement. I'm still scraping away. Feed me once in a while. Just throw down some crackers. Yay, I made it to the end. It's time to do our party dance. Woohoo! Now this is just sad.
So this is when I started the project. April 30th. These are the amount of hours I spent. And it's taken me all the way to July 12th to get done with the first phase of scraping and sanding, and 42.25 hours from the other side of the paper and 21.25 hours from this point of the paper equals 63.5 hours already spent on this set. And all I've gotten was the first worst scraping and sanding done. I just got done sanding the whole top and the bottom edges of the table with the 180 grit sandpaper for the second sanding. And I noticed that this one edge over here is catching on the slide. I have decided I don't want to sand all of these pieces in the interior piece because I want some of the history to stay with the table, and that's not going to affect anything with the overall look. So I'm going to wipe off the dust, and then I'm going to add Big Mama's butter to these sliding mechanisms and all of this underneath to condition the wood. I'm going to take care not to let any of the conditioning butter get onto the raw wood because I want to stain the top coming around to here.
Yeah, I think you can tell the difference between first rough sanding and scraping as opposed to the second. This has taken so long, I think I'm gonna die and still be sanding spindles. You can definitely see there's still some dark spots that there's going to need a third sanding after all of this to try to still even out the differences. Oh, hey, you're still with me. Oh, let me get this off. What a job. Okay, as you can see, I'm in the middle of working on my second phase of sanding, which is smoothing out all of the scraping and any kind of uneven imperfections left from after the first rough sanding and scraping. And you know, there are some dents and dings within the furniture that have deeper spots. We'll probably be touching base on that later. I'm not sure if I'm going to be trying to address getting all of those out or not. I'll probably want to talk to the client to see what they feel about that. I'm having a feeling that there's a little bit of history that could stay with the piece to show and tell its story, and I don't think it will distract from the finishing result. But anyways, I'm glad you're still here with me, hanging in there, and I really appreciate it. I would like to take the time to thank all of my followers who are continually checking in to see if I've put anything else new and current and fresh out, and apologize that I have not. It's been a little bit of a challenge here lately. We've had a few life changes, and that's just taking time away from me being able to put in as much on the furniture refinishing as I wanted to. As you all were aware, Nova was in high school. She's now graduated, and she has just recently started her full-time with benefits job so that she can make her movement into her own house and start paying her own bills and all of that stuff, which is just a wee bit of an adjustment, which takes a little bit of me getting used to doing some of the things that she used to do, because she's not going to have as much time to do the editing and the technical stuff that I relied on her to do. So we're kind of trying to feel our way through that aspect of things that's put a spin on this end of the business. But also, I would like to update you that there's a possibility that our move to Tennessee is kind of coming to a head as far as we're waiting from the bank to get the final thumbs up, and if all goes well, then we are in the process of making our transition down there, which again, on the backside of that, with all the trips down there to try to make arrangements and find the right thing and talk to the right people and keep things moving in that direction, it's also taken time away from all of this. And if it's going through, it's going to continue to take time from all of this, because I've got to start putting in time into the house here and get it all up and ready for sale. So I would like to try to continue on with this and get it done so I can get it back to the clients. But then I have a lot of home projects that I got to get done, because I want to try to get as much profit out of this house as possible to help me with all of the finishing details that I'm going to be responsible for on the flip side of our move. So all of this is a big transition. It's taken time away from what my end result is wanting to be, as far as always being available to produce content for you guys and keep creating better and better pieces for your enjoyment. And also ask for you guys to keep hanging in there with me. You guys have a little bit of sneak peek with the whole renovation of the bathroom, because that needed to get done before selling this house. But there's a few other projects that need to get done, and I want to bring you along on that journey and explain to you as I'm going through that journey why I'm doing what I'm doing, to try to shoot for as high of a price as I can get in that comp range that I've already been given, because I really do see that there's a trend that's shifting a little bit. Just as it is important to get furniture pieces ready for people to just use instantaneously like that, I think it's important to also get your house all together so you can have them come in and think, yeah, just like that, I've got it. So anyways, there's going to be a part of that journey I'm wanting to show you. And on the flip side, then when we're moving down to Tennessee and getting all of that arranged, there's going to be a lot on my plate of responsibilities there that I want to show you. It might be like jaw-dropping and wow effect because of so much that I'm going to be taking on, just in order to keep everything down into our price range where we could get approved. It's going to be a long duration of time that I'm not able to put as much out there in furniture refinishing as I want to, but the end result of that will be me having my studio all made up and a workspace all done and ready, and then trying to hit it hard to be like 24/7 furniture refinishing. Thank you, and please continue to check in and don't give up on us. So I'm going to get back to work now.
Hey everyone, it's Nova. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'm very proud to say that Packy did most of the editing for this video. I'd clap if I could use both of my hands. Give us a like on this video for your version of applause for Packy. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know exactly when we upload, and comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your opinions. We love to read what you guys have to say. With that said, stay safe out there.